Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So let's just jump right into it. Today, we're talking about something huge, like arguably the biggest paradigm shift hitting the internet since the smartphone. Consider this your personal mentor's cheat sheet to the whole AI agent gold rush. Based on the deep dive from Greg Eisenberg's startup ideas, we are going to break down exactly how the internet's underlying economy is changing, and much more importantly, how you can build highly profitable businesses right on top of it.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to cover the new agent web shift, Cloudflare's micro-monetization engine, the emerging agent stack, and then we're diving into 3 actual startup ideas: niche data refineries, agent readiness audits, and expert archives to tools. Let's get right to it.
Okay, part 1, the new agent web shift.
To really see where we're going, you kind of have to understand what's breaking right now. For decades, the whole internet bargain was pretty simple, right? Websites gave you free content in exchange for your eyeballs and your ad clicks. But man, that trade is falling apart fast. In the old human-centric web, you'd Google something, click a link, scroll around a messy page, and the site owner gets paid through ads. But in the new agent web, AI agents completely bypass the actual website. They just swoop in, grab the exact answer, and hand it straight to the user. The website loses the human visit, and poof, the ad revenue is just gone. So we are rapidly shifting from monetizing human attention to monetizing structured resources and machine usage.
And this shift, it needs a totally new pricing model. I mean, just look at that number, 0.3 of a cent. Humans and machines value access in completely different ways. Imagine you click on a recipe for tacos online, and a pop-up demands a fraction of a cent just to see the sauce ingredients. You'd probably slam your laptop shut and go order tacos out of pure spite. But an AI agent, it absolutely doesn't care. It will gladly and instantly pay that microscopic fee programmatically just to grab the data and finish its job.
Which brings us to part 2, Cloudflare's micro-monetization engine.
So how exactly do we collect those tiny fractions of a cent? Well, let's talk about the new pickaxes and shovels of this gold rush, specifically some massive new rollouts from Cloudflare. They are literally building the infrastructure for this agent web. First, they introduced AI crawl control, which lets site owners easily see and block specific bots. But the real game changers are pay-per crawl and the monetization gateway. These let you instantly set up payment rules for any resource, a web page, a data set, an API, so you can charge AI bots for access directly. No clunky enterprise checkout flows needed.
Now, the absolute coolest part is how this payment actually happens. It uses the HTTP 402 payment required status code, running on what they call the X42 rail. This is honestly revolutionary. There's no creating an account, no typing in a credit card number, no sitting through a lengthy sales call. The server request itself literally becomes the transaction. The server says, hey, pay me a fraction of a cent. The agent automatically pays it and then retries the request. It completely rewrites machine-to-machine economics, turning these tiny digital resources into incredibly scalable businesses.
All right, part 3, the emerging agent stack.
Now that the plumbing is being built, what do you as an entrepreneur actually need to do? Well, here's the pipeline. See, humans are actually super good at dealing with a messy internet. We squint at tiny fonts, we sift through outdated FAQs, we decipher terrible PDFs. But AI agents, they absolutely cannot do that. They need clean, structured doors. So the new stack works like this. You take the raw, messy internet. Then you push it through a data refinery to clean it up. Next, you expose that clean data through agent-readable endpoints, like an LLM.txt file or an MCP server. Then you wrap a monetization layer around it so you actually get paid, and finally, you layer on trust and analytics so the agents know your data is legit.
Moving on to part 4, Idea 1, niche data refineries.
Let's make this super actionable. Honestly, this first startup idea is probably the most practical way to start generating cash flow right now. The play here is to pick a highly fragmented local niche, let's say med spas. Today, a local med spa's data is an absolute mess. It's scattered across Google Maps reviews, chaotic Instagram posts, and buried in some weird PDF pricing sheet. Your job? Manually collect that messy data across town and synthesize it into clean, beautifully structured reports. You are quite literally taking the messy internet and refining it into high-octane fuel for agents. But wait, how do you actually make money right now while the whole agent web is still maturing? You got to use a crawl, walk, run strategy. Look, if you try to sell an API endpoint to a local med spa owner, they're going to look at you like you're speaking an alien language. Don't do that. Instead, start with an unscalable wedge.
Sell these manual data insights as good old-fashioned spreadsheets to B2B marketing agencies who already serve med spas. Get that immediate cash flow. Then, over time, as you stockpile more and more data, you transition to the scalable vision, packaging all that sweet data into metered endpoints for the AI agents.
Okay, part 5. Idea 2. Agent readiness audits. Think of this second idea as basically SEO for the agent internet, and it's perfect for B2B SaaS companies or local businesses. You want a brilliant sales wedge? Walk up to a founder and ask them one simple question. What do AI agents say about your company today? To prove your point, you run some buyer intent prompts on major LLMs. Find the exact spots where the AI completely hallucinates their pricing, or worse, recommends their biggest competitor just because the competitor has better documentation. You take screenshots of those terrifying, completely wrong AI answers, and you show them directly to the founder. I guarantee you that gets their attention immediately.
And once they're properly panicking, you swoop in and sell them the ultimate fix. You see, most company websites are completely bogged down with foggy corporate marketing speak, stuff like unlocking operational excellence. Agents hate that. They can't parse it. So you offer to replace all that fluff with clean, trustworthy fuel. You build them proper LLM.txt files, honest comparison pages, highly organized schema markup, and lightweight MCP servers. Basically, you make their business ridiculously easy for an AI agent to understand, trust, and most importantly, recommend to actual buyers.
Now, here is how you turn that one-time audit into a real scalable business. Sure, it starts as a high-ticket manual service. You might charge $3 to $10 grand just to clean up their site, but then you hook them with recurring revenue, a monthly measurement loop. Every single month, you rerun those exact same AI prompts to prove that the AI's answers about their company are actually getting better over time. And the best part? By repeating this same process across dozens of clients in one specific niche, you'll start seeing the exact same patterns, allowing you to easily productize the whole service into a slick, recurring software tool.
And that brings us to part 6. Idea 3. Expert archives to tools.
Our third and final startup idea is an absolute gold mine if you can partner with creators, media companies, or consultants who are just sitting on years of valuable but totally disorganized content. But listen, when you pitch these experts, how you frame it is everything. Do not go to them with some creepy, vague pitch like, hey, I want to turn your brain into an AI. No, that sounds like a sketchy SaaS landing page. You have to be hyper-specific. Tell them, we're going to turn your archive of 300 sales videos into a dedicated cold email critique tool. Boom. You pick one highly specific workflow that solves a singular, massive pain point for their audience.
Now, a quick warning here. A lot of people take the lazy route with this. They just dump thousands of raw transcripts into a vector database, slap a basic search box on top, and call it a day. Guys, that is not a real product. A truly valuable agentic tool requires rigorous structure. You have to transcribe the archive and then tag it deeply. If it's a sales archive, tag it by prospecting, by objection handling, by framework, and by outcome. That deep, manual tagging is the absolute secret sauce. That's what allows the agent to actually generate expert-level outputs instead of generic fluff.
And the business mechanics of this partnership. Oh, they're beautiful. You, the founder, do the heavy lifting of building the specialized agent tool. The creator brings their massive existing audience to the table. That means your customer acquisition cost is literally zero because the audience already trusts the creator. From there, users might pay, $19 to $50 a month for access to this expert workflow. Or, taking it back to Cloudflare's new rails, you can set it up so AI agents pay tiny microtransactions per programmatic request every single time they tap into that expert's knowledge base.
So what's the timeline on all of this? Well, according to the source material, the clock is ticking. You have roughly the next 18 months. Right now, this space is incredibly beautifully early. You have a massive window over the next year and a half to get in there and do the unscalable, gritty work, building those manual data layers, grinding out the spreadsheets, and cleaning up the messy internet before this inevitably becomes a hyper-competitive space.
I want to leave you with one final, kind of provocative thought. The internet as we know it is aggressively shifting away from pages that humans casually scroll towards structured resources that AI agents use to get things done. The next great internet businesses, they're not going to be massive, flashy consumer apps. They are going to be these tiny, metered, paid digital doors that AI agents walk through millions of times every single day.